always late.
We are live.
Okay, great. Welcome everyone to another Facebook Live with Dr. Nelva Bryant. I'm Greta Russo, and of course, this is the lovely Dr. Bryant. Please tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Hi there, everyone. Thanks for watching us today and listening and following. My name is Dr. Nelva Bryant. I'm a veterinarian. I work in the airline industry, and actually, I work with Delta Airlines. Greta and I have developed our Facebook Live events to introduce everyone to different stakeholders in the in the animal transportation industry, basically. I also like to bring in other individuals that I've met and that over these past few years that I'm working with and have developed a bond with, and it's all related to animal welfare and their impact also with transportation and just animal welfare in general, basically. But today we have a great person that's joining us. It's going to be Dr. Robin Ganzert from American Humane. But before we get that started, please, Greta, I want you to introduce yourself because you are a very strong part of When Pets Fly. I can't do this without you, so please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Greta Russo. I work with Dr. Bryant in helping When Pets Fly reach as many people as possible. The journey has been fantastic, so I want to thank all of you for coming with us on this journey. We started out, we thought it's funny how when you're a business owner, you think you're going to go down one path and you somehow divert into another direction. Because we definitely thought we were just going to inform pet parents because, they just didn't have enough resources. But as we got into this, we figured out that there's so many, you like to call them stakeholders, but people and companies and resources that touch just all animal transportation. Right. So we decided that we wanted to be able to share information between one source to another and be that, I guess, caveat that helps to make this a little easier for everyone in this industry.
Definitely, because we've had individuals that represent service animals, different pet shippers. What else have we had? My goodness, I'm losing my train of thought. Last week we had Rochelle Rogers, and she talked about zoo animal transportation. And it was a very great, really good conversation because we showed that there's a lot of similarities with preparing zoo animals and your personal pets for air transport. So great conversations with her. We've done a lot. We've talked about different ways to calm your pet during transport. We had Laura, and I forget her last name, was on discussing information about CBD. We've done a lot. So I'm very excited in how things have developed with When Pets Fly. Very exciting.
Yes, absolutely. I know last week we talked a little bit about the big news. There's a lot of news with animal transportation going on these past few weeks. It first started off with American Airlines talking about how they were going to make things a little easier for pet parents traveling with a pet, where now they allow the pet plus you can keep your two carry-on bag limit, which is a great help because I think a cat or a dog probably has their own luggage. So, and that's great. Dr. Bryant, everyone, as most people know, with you work with Delta Airlines, and you gave us some updates before. I think we're getting ready to go into a huge transportation season for both leisure and pet parents, as well as from what we learned last Facebook Live, the spring is coming, so animal transports will pick up because the weather is better. So are you able to talk about Delta and how maybe they're preparing for spring coming up for both pet parents and shippers?
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to basically announce, and just in a sense, it's a re-announcing basically, but unfortunately, pets are embargoed for transport by Delta Cargo at this present moment. You can transport your pet or service animal in cabin. If it's a pet, it has to fit in a soft-sided carrier, and there's specific requirements for that. You have to go to the website to see that. But we have embargoed pets being transported by cargo. However, we do have a limited exception for our military or foreign service officers traveling on permanent change of station orders. So just be aware that we are able to do it. It is a limited exception, so it may not go to every destination that you would like to go to, but we are transporting our military and foreign service officers on permanent change of station orders. Meanwhile, though, folks, I don't think folks are really aware, we continue to transport other animals, other warm-blooded or cold-blooded animals, and that's it. Actually, the warm-blooded would include your zoo animals, your day-old chicks. You guys would be amazed. We transport hatching eggs sometimes and day-old chicks to different countries, basically help transport them to different countries to help feed different nations, which is amazing to me. A lot of things we do also, like I said, zoo animals. Zoo animals are being transported because of conservation purposes. You imagine you can't keep the same animals on, say, all the same lines together because you need some genetic diversity with them. So they transport them between different locations or what have you for that genetic diversity and conservation. So we do that as well. We ship a lot of live tropical fish. So we're still in business. We're still working. We are working towards getting our system ready for transporting personal pets, basically the routine pet shipments. But we have to do a lot of internal evaluation of our system before that happens. So just be aware that we're working on it. We are working towards coming back.
That's fantastic. Okay, I have to ask this because I'm sure I'm not the only one, but there's so many cute videos and even photos of large dogs in cabin sitting next to their people. So I have to ask the question, number one, is that even possible that today large dogs can sit in the cabin in a seat next to their person? And number two, if it is possible, does that mean that their seat is the $250, $200, or do you have to pay for a whole flight ticket for the dog? So I'm curious.
Well, some of those photos, I wonder, sometimes I look at the photos and I wonder, when was that taken? Because remember, prior to COVID, I think up to maybe before 2020 timeframe, or is it 2021, you could have a emotional support, animal on board. They changed that regulation. Gosh darn, I'm forgetting dates now, but we had made it through the pandemic. I think it was the end of 2020 is when policies or regulations changed where you no longer emotional support animals were no longer allowed in cabin. And from then going on, it's just service dogs. So sometimes I wonder about those photos. Were the photos older and they put it out now and everyone thinks, oh, they're allowing them on board. And that's not the case. The rule is actually, if you see a large dog, most likely it's going to be a service dog on board. They are not supposed to be in a seat. They're supposed to fit in your foot space, basically, is where they're supposed to be seated for the flight. So if you see them sitting in a seat, again, I know it's kind of false advertising. You don't know, but very unlikely that it's going to sit there during the entire flight because of the regulations and policies that are out of place right now and everything. And again, I think it potentially could have been an old photo and that resurfaced. And now everyone's like, oh, they let dogs go in cabin. And again, regulations, at least I can tell you definitely for Delta, they have to be in a soft-sided carrier, fit and underneath this, seat in front of you, or a service dog. That's it.
Darn. I would love to end up next to a big dog.
Yeah. But now remember, we just saw this past week the advertisement for Bark, which is more of a private jet that has
Bark Air.
Yeah, Bark Air. Which, like I said, which have all these wonderful. It looks from the photos, or at least from the little commercial clip. wonderful accommodation for dogs and cat, but it seems like it.
Yeah.
I didn't see any people on there. Is it something? Are they flying by themselves or what? Because I didn't see a person, associated.
Well, when I read a press release that went out, so you're
Mhm.
buying a ticket for you and your dog or cat, and the animals can be any size, which was really nice, and they don't have to be in a crate. Now,
Mhm.
I kind of have a question for that part because, you know, any animal can get scared at any time between takeoff, flight, and landing. So I don't know if I would want my cat out with a bunch of dogs, number one, in a plane. Number two, even if it had all dogs, you don't know the temperaments between
Right.
the dogs.
Right.
Number three, you know, humans are always a factor and most times worse than animals themselves.
Mhm.
So you don't know who's on there. I don't know if I like the no cage part or at least some kind of keeping
I,
your dog restrained to one
there
area.
has to be some way to tether them. You have to tether them somehow to keep them near you, because just going around again, it's almost like, you think about it. I would think it would be similar to being at a dog park where they're mingling, but even at dog parks, there's fights sometimes. So keeping them tethered might be, close by would be best for them, I think.
Yeah,
Especially if cats out, not all dogs and cats get along. So you got to be
yeah.
mindful of that.
And then the cost is anywhere between 6 to 8,000. Now, honestly, that's average for a jet, and you have to consider this is looking for a specific clientele. You know, somebody who does not mind spending 8,000 for it. Now, I don't know if that's per ticket. I think it's for the combo of one human and an animal. I think that's more it. So, I saw a couple of backlash articles. Oh, this wasn't geared toward the common person. Well, it doesn't have to be. You know, if their clientele is folks who have expendable cash like that, then that's who their people are.
Yeah.
So people who don't have that expendable cash, they have airlines that charge the 200, and you go from there.
Right. Right.
So. Yeah, it was nice to see that another one came out. So I think I know of three. I don't know if there's more, but there's JSX, and they've been around for quite some time. And their cost is around the same thing too. And I think right now they have more of a flight pattern, routine flight pattern because they've been out for a while.
Mhm.
And then our friends who came on.
Canine
Oh
Jets?
God,
Was that
huh?
Canine Jets? Was it
Yeah,
Canine?
Canine Jet.
Mhm.
They came on and they have a huge following. So they, and I think their pricing is around the same as well. But again, you got to consider that pricing involves, personal customer service to you as the human, plus the animal. The animal has less anxiety. So there's so many benefits. Some of them, like Canine Jets, they organize people to pick you up and take you back and stuff like that. So you really have to evaluate everything. But we absolutely love Canine Jets, and we know that they take good care of their humans and animal customers.
Right. Right.
Well,
Well, there's plenty
we
of
have
options out there now.
Yeah, yeah, there sure
Mhm.
are, which is great. But we've got our friend Robin Ganzert, who is in the wings, and I'm going to bring her up so that we can begin talking to her. You know us, you and I, we get on a tangent, and we don't take, we never look at the clock. We just keep
I know.
going and going.
I know.
That's
Welcome,
great.
Robin.
That's great.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I've learned so
Mhm.
much in your opening segment. So thank you
Oh,
so much. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
you're welcome.
I learned
oh,
and I can't wait. I want to fly on Bark Air myself.
yeah.
Oh, you should see the commercial. It's so cute. It really
Oh,
is. They got a
Oh,
play park in the back and everything.
I,
So,
oh
yeah,
gosh, I feel a puppy flight coming on. I don't know.
absolutely.
Fun. So
Well,
much.
Let me introduce, just in case people don't know Dr. Robin Ganzert and American Humane. So I will do a quick introduction of you, my lady, and then we will get talking. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Robin Ganzert, an advocate for the welfare of animals and the esteemed president and CEO of American Humane. Dr. Ganzert leads the charge for the nation's oldest and most respected humane organization, dedicated to protecting and rescuing animals in need wherever they may be. For more than 100 years, American Humane has been first in promoting the welfare and safety of animals and strengthening the bond between animals and people. But her impact doesn't stop there. Dr. Ganzert is a powerhouse in media production, serving as the executive producer of the captivating documentary Escape from Extinction, featuring the narration of Dame Helen Mirren. She also spearheads the annual American Humane Hero Dog Awards, captivating audiences for over a decade with the stories of America's most profound canines. A multifaceted talent, Dr. Ganzert is an accomplished author with titles like The Humane Table, Cooking with Compassion, Mission Metamorphosis, and Animal Stars. Under her belt, her literary contributions to animal advocacy continues to inspire. Dr. Ganzert serves on the boards of esteemed organizations like the Laurel Park Foundation and the Lois Polk Life Foundation.
Yes.
She's a familiar face on major national news networks, providing authoritative insights on animal welfare. From Good Morning America to Fox News, her voice resonates across diverse platforms, advocating for transparency, accountability, and compassion in animal protection. Under her stewardship, American Humane has garnered widespread recognition for its unwavering commitment to excellence, earning top ratings from Charity Navigator, Independent Charities of America, and great nonprofits, ensuring American Humane embodies the highest standard of charity accountability. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Robin Ganzert, a true champion for animals and a beacon of compassion in our world today. Well, we are so honored. Everyone, please help us welcome our dear Dr. Robin Ganzert. We're so happy to have you back again.
Like my mother wrote that bio, so thank you so much for reading every word. Linda Roy's out there, and she's going, yes.
Well, it was so inspiring, and it's so filled with so much fantastic information. And you really are a rock star at what you do. But I have to say, when you love what you do, you don't realize, that you're changing the world. It's just another day.
It's another day serving the mission of animals, right? And how blessed and fortunate I am to be able to be in this space. And people, will ask, what do you do? And when people ask that, and you have that opportunity, boy, I love when they ask that, because I get to be the voice of all these precious creatures to which we have the privilege of sharing this world, right? And it's incredible. But I have to tell you, I'm so glad to be with you both. We did this last year, so much fun. And since then, Dr. Nelva was our chief veterinarian for the Hero Dog Awards, and we just invited her back for this 14th year. So thank you, Dr. Nelva, for your incredible service to our hero dogs this year.
Thank you. I had such a good time and really enjoyed interacting with all the candidates for the Hero Dog Awards, learning their stories and meeting the owners. It was such a great time. It was an honor, honestly an honor to be a part of it.
We were thrilled to have you part of it. And I know the dogs, they touch your lives, don't they? They touch your hearts. They into your head, and you can't ever forget their stories and the tears we shed during that. Yeah, it's an incredible experience, the hero dogs.
Yeah,
And,
love it.
and what I love about your celebration is that, so I've always known every animal in the world is a hero in their own way and what they do in their own lives. But when you hear these stories and they are happy, they are heartbreaking, they are inspiring, you can't believe a dog did that. Some people say that, and then you're like, yes, of course, a dog did that. On the other hand, and I love the Hero Dog Awards just to honestly go through the stories and remind myself we all should inspire to be as pure and honest and grateful and helping and just worthy of life. They live life. So to me, that's what the Hero Dog Awards means to me.
Greta, it's about unconditional love. And I think the world needs a lot more unconditional love now more than ever. When we open up the papers in the morning or turn on the news, it's really tough now to
Yeah.
see the division, the conflicts, everything. The news is really, really tough. So when I can talk about unconditional love and
Yeah.
share a dog's story, a
Yeah.
dog that's done something extraordinary, we better throw those dogs bones, right? And
Yeah.
give them their Oscars for canines, right? Which is our Hero Dog Awards. It's truly the Oscars for
Yeah.
canines. These are the best of man's best friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Dr. Robin Ganzert, why don't let's get this started, and why don't you tell everyone who is not familiar with the American Humane, as well as yourself, tell us a little bit about the organization and, everything that you're doing with it.
American Humane is our country's oldest national humane organization. So we were founded way back in 1877, almost 150 years ago. You already
Wow.
know us through our work, like our certification work. We're the largest certifier of the humane treatment of animals in the entire world. So when I think about that, I think about our Hollywood program. No animals were harmed. So when you watch a movie with a precious creature in it, when you see our seal at the end, you know that indeed no animal was harmed in making that movie. And if you buy a cage-free egg or a chicken or dairy product that has our seal, we're the largest certifier of farm animals in North America. Very proud of our American Humane Certified Farm Animal Program, ensuring those farm animals have a humane life. And of course, you know us through our conservation program, leading the way to certify the world's best zoos and aquariums. And rescue, we were very first in rescue in our country way back in World War I when we rescued cavalry horses in the front lines. Amazing work that our great volunteers and staff did back in the 1915-16 era. Unbelievable work and courageous work. And of course, through our service dog program, so many different initiatives that we do to uplift the healing power of the human animal bond. But we not only work in America, we also work overseas. Our overseas work is under the brand Global Humane. We're working today in 40 countries, making a meaningful difference in the lives of animals. I'm very proud of that work. I'm proud to work with the best people in the world, all of our humane angels that work at American Humane. These are truly the heroes of compassion on the front lines, saving lives.
Wow, that's fantastic. So, you said so many things right then and there. I was trying to make notes so I could come back with questions. I think for me, the one that sticks out and is fascinating as a aha moment was that, there actually needed to be someone to make sure conditions were right for animals in Hollywood. And from the last time we spoke, weren't you guys also involved with the Child Labor Act as well? Am I remember correctly?
Absolutely. So when we were founded in the late 1800s, the word humane meant children and animals. We can't even wrap our brains around that in today's times. But the first child abuse laws were actually promulgated by American Humane. Really proud of that legacy and history of protecting kiddos too. And a lot of the incredible rules and regulations that we take for granted today were actually developed through American Humane. So very proud of our work in child welfare and in child protection and animal protection. And it was interesting because back in those days, animal abuse cruelty laws were on the books before child abuse laws
Wow.
books. So we were part of those efforts to reform that, and it's stunning to me to think of that. That's why it's so hard in today's times for us to even understand this, right?
Yeah, their times are certainly different, and that's why the rules today exist. I don't know if maybe your grandparents might have said, "Yeah, I went to work," or "My brothers went to work at 10 when they were age 10," or
Right.
"My parents went to work when they were age 10." And I was like, "Wow, when I was 10, I was playing with my Barbie." So
Right.
And it should be, right? At 10 years old. Absolutely. Can't imagine those times, but it was real and impacting people in horrific ways, right? So I'm really glad that American Humane was there, acting with moral courage. So when we think about our leadership responsibilities at American Humane, I always think of this as a heavy mantle of responsibility. It's not just an ordinary charity. It's one with a 150-year legacy of people really going for systemic change, going to define what it is to be humane, going for empathy, kindness, compassion.
yeah.
Those values we all celebrate even 150 years later.
You could really argue that American Humane is America's moral compass, because there are so many things that you all saw early and continue to see into today as these things have to change or just need improvement upon. And so I personally, and I'm sure so many out there, are so grateful for an organization like yourselves and, such a wonderful, warm woman like yourself leading the charge. So thank you so much for all you do as well.
Thank you. Very, very kind. It's really the thanks are for the team, all of our colleagues, and Dr. Nelva is on our governing board of directors, and we're really
Yes, she is.
in that
I'm
role.
It's such an honor, honestly. I really enjoy the opportunity being with you guys. It's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Mhm.
Let's see, I'm pulling up this next banner. How long have you been with the organization, and how did you come to become their great leader?
Oh, well, I tell you, I was so fortunate 14 years ago to have gotten a call from a recruiter and said, "Do you want to come and think about working with animals?" And I thought, I was doing public policy and philanthropy for one of America's largest think tanks. And I thought, what an interesting concept to go and actually be with America's oldest national humane organization. So I joined 14 years ago, and now 14 years later, we have now boots on the ground in 40 countries, protecting well over 1 billion animals each and every year. So I think about this, and what I see is 40 countries, but we've got to be at 100. And then I think about 1 billion animals. We need to do 20 billion animals and protect them. And all. I see the mission as large and daunting. At the same time, it's energizing and exciting. And so I'm very, very fortunate to do this. And I'm really, really proud of our growth globally, exporting our American Humane standards to countries around the world where they really need our help, our advice, and our counsel.
Yeah, for me, I don't see American Humane as just America either. Where it's doing great work here, the work that you're doing should be worldwide because, everybody in every different place treats everything different, not just animals, not just kids, not even the food we eat. But you can't argue with what is right and wrong. And that's what I love about the American Humane. It's not that you're saying these are American standards. You're saying that these are the ways that morally we should be treating other creatures that are in this world. And that's what I love about the message you guys deliver.
Thank you. Thank you. And it is important in today's times regardless of cultural differences and distinctions. Yeah. It's really important.
It's hard to believe because I think a lot of people don't think outside of the U.S. and how things are done. It's in different countries. It's the assumption that maybe other countries also have animal welfare regulations, but sometimes they don't. They don't. So it's wonderful that you're expanding out to different countries and sharing this. Because again, for us, as far as in the U.S., you just assume that that's how it is everywhere, but it's not.
Right. Definitely not. Definitely not.
So yes. I got a question for you. So with everything that you're doing, I know there's other organizations similar to you. Do you do collaborations and things to that with other organizations? And if you do, are you able to share who you're working with?
Well, we do a lot of collaborations where animals are in various environments. We just joined forces with Anheuser-Busch. And you're thinking, why is Rob working with beer, right? And it's not. The Clydesdales and the Dalmatians are happily certified by American Humane, an incredible collaboration there to ensure the humane treatment. And as the largest certifier of animals in working environments, we work with Disney on the studio productions, Paramount, you name it, Universal, then all the way to all the various farm producers. So we really do collaborate every single day. But it's very important, Greta and Dr. Nelva, you will appreciate this more than most. We believe in defining the humane treatment of animals rooted in solid science and evidence-based practices. It's so easy for us to look at a creature and go, oh, we should, and then apply our human, food taste or whatever it is, right, to an animal. And frankly, it's where we have to rely on solid science and evidence-based practices by those recognized authorities like you, Dr. Nelva, right? Very important to go to the science and the experts who know the space. And that's what we do.
Definitely. Well, what's important about being science-based and science-backed is the fact that no one can argue that it's just your opinion. And that you are pushing your agenda on us. That's it. It's not that. This is scientifically proven that this is a better situation than maybe what's at hand.
Absolutely. And truly, with science and evidence-based practices, you get much better public policy too. So I love that versus just an emotional-based response, not rooted in science, can have drastic consequences in the public policy space.
Absolutely. So I know you mentioned the Hero Dog Awards, which is an annual huge thing that most people pay attention to. So I wanted to give you a moment to talk a little bit more about that and to see if there was anything else you wanted to mention. So tell us more about the Hero Dog Awards.
Yes, the Hero Dog Awards will be in Palm Beach on January 8th, 2025, and we'll be recording our television show, which will air primetime in February. So stay tuned for the primetime television special. But if you'd like to join us in sunny Palm Beach, January 8th of 2025, we'd love to have you. What this campaign is America gets to nominate and then America gets to vote for their favorite dogs in 5 categories, from law enforcement, military, working dog, service dog, therapy dog, and my favorite, emerging hero dog. That's usually a rescue or shelter dog doing an amazing thing. And America gets to vote. You choose your favorite dog in each category, and then the finalists all come together, and then we get to choose America's top dog out of the top 5 category finalists. Very exciting. And always I say, may the best dog win. The problem is they're all the best. Right. I don't vote. I can't vote, but they're all the best. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. And we have something else coming up pretty soon too. We've got a lot of great events at American Humane. We've got rescue trainings. We've got private convenings on issues. Lots of different things going on. But I tell you one thing that I do have, and that is we have a sequel coming out to Escape from Extinction, our award-winning inaugural documentary that aired in 2020 and 2021 and still now is streaming on Peacock with the beautiful Dame Helen Mirren. but we have a sequel coming out. And so stay tuned, drum roll. We'll soon be able to announce the narrator and share with you the trailer. I just wanted to say there is a sequel coming, and it's called Escape from Extinction Rewilding. Can't wait for you to watch it.
Awesome.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, definitely when it does come out, when you put the promos for it out, we will make sure we help to share that with all the people that follow us on our different platforms. Now, for the Hero Dog Awards, wasn't that typically in the fall that you used to record that? Has the date changed?
Absolutely. So we used to have it in November, but in Florida, that could be hurricane season. So we moved it up to January.
November.
Worry about the season of storms, right? And at American Humane, we know about the season of storms and how to prepare. And we certainly had to prepare for our own TV show. So it's much safer for us to do it in January. We don't have the risk of the season of storms.
Wow, I didn't realize that the hurricanes lasted all the way to November in Florida. Wow.
They can pop up. So we have to be really
Don't
careful.
Don't they start in September?
June is starting hurricane season. So we have to be prepared for hurricanes in June. But absolutely, we have most of our hurricanes hit September, October, maybe a week in early November. So yes. And so we're very, cognizant of how that can impact a television show. And so we're under contract to deliver that to a major, primetime network. And so we have to make sure that we can physically be there. No storms get in the way. So very happy. Hero dogs will never be impacted by weather. Thank goodness.
Wow, that's amazing. And so with the Hero Dog Awards, you mentioned that Dr. Bryant was interacting with the candidates. Can you tell us a little bit more about Dr. Bryant's involvement, or Dr. Bryant, can you tell us?
Honestly, it was just a great time. This actually last year's for 2023 was my second time attending an event, the Hero Dog Awards. First time I more or less was there just participating in the event itself. But last year I was there a little bit early. I was able to interact with all the candidates. Again, got to meet the pet owners, learn their stories, interact. If anything was needed, I was there. Basically, I didn't tell you before going there, Robin, I had researched local veterinary clinics in the area just in case someone got ill. I just made sure that if anything happened with them, we were going to be prepared to take care of them and everything.
That's so nice because it's needed. You never know. Some of these dogs are elderly, so they need senior care too. And you did such a great job. All the dogs loved you.
Yeah, and we did have a sad thing that happened. Oh gosh, God forbid getting names. One of the dogs passed, and I was worried. Raina. I was worried about Raina prior to, and unfortunately, she passed prior to the event and everything. But I was involved with trying to make sure the dog was healthy prior to coming, because I was saying, hey, let's do a good veterinary check. Let's make sure he's fit to fly or whatever means of transport. But unfortunately, I don't remember exactly what happened, but Raina passed prior to the event.
She did. She did. She was an old senior girl, and she was both deaf and blind, if you remember. Right. And so she's a special needs girl, and she just crossed the Rainbow Bridge right before the show, and we gave her a great tribute, and I know she loved it. I know she loved it.
That's amazing and so good to hear. It's so hard. I had, number one, when the dogs have a job, I keep trying to get my cats a job, but they look at me like I'm crazy. But when the dogs have a job, it gives them such a joy and pridefulness of, I'm doing something for my human and for humanity. And when they become sick and can't do their job, they really don't like that. But I'm so glad to hear that you guys honored Raina for being the fantastic canine that she was.
I think she inspired a lot of pet parents to take on a special needs dog. And that's really important. Those special needs dogs need special families. And so we really wanted to utilize the story to educate. And I think Raina did a great job of passing it forward, paying it forward to other special needs dogs.
That's great. So Dr. Bryant, did you just give them all like a physical, or like, were you just there as doctor on deck, or what did you do?
I didn't have to give them physicals. I was a doctor on deck just in case they needed me. I was right nearby just in case. All of them were definitely good health, well-behaved dogs. Amazing. Because at the event, think about the reception prior to it, Robin. It was loaded with people, and the dogs were, you can go pet them, you can do it. No, your average dog probably would have shied away and gotten, nippy probably, because there's so many people near them. But these dogs are so well behaved. It was wonderful, honestly, wonderful event.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we're going to do it again.
All right, that's great.
Very exciting.
Do you guys ever let cats come as just to watch?
By the way, I know you have 3 kittens, and I've been waiting for them to make their grand appearance. Caesar, my beautiful kitty, is in the closet upstairs. He's been hiding out today because we had some deliveries, and so he always goes to a closet when there's deliveries. So I love my cat. I love my dogs too, but I love my cat. So we need to, Greta, create a hero cat category one day. So let's you and I talk offline and get your kitten nominated.
Absolutely.
You know what? But the interesting thing, cats don't get the same notoriety that your dogs get. I don't know why. Even in veterinary medicine, they don't get the same. The care is available, of course.
Yes,
it's there, but a lot of pet owners don't bring them in as much as your dogs, and they're kind of, pushed aside in a sense, and it's bad. So we got to find a way to build them up too. Your cat owners and develop that strong bond and find other things. Like I said, a hero cat award would be very interesting.
And I know that Julius Caesar would apply, even though we couldn't compete because of my role. But his brother, Mark Anthony, a very cute one too. So we kind of a little crazy with our family's cat names. But anyway, that is wonderful. They're just I love our cats, and we got to do a lot more. We got to educate people as the value of veterinary care for cats, have them live long, healthy lives. Because I want Julius to be with me forever. He's that special, and we all love him. And anyway, but we go to our veterinarian. All of our animals go to our veterinarian.
And the interesting thing about that too, Robin and Greta, is that a lot of times with cats, they don't show clinical signs of being ill until it's too late. So you got to get those routine visits in so they can stay on top of things. And get the diagnostic work that's needed. I mean, don't feel as though, they're just charging me extra money. If we have a baseline of internal organ functioning, that helps as time goes on. If you go there and all of a sudden the values are off the wall, and you're like, oh my God, what the heck? But if you would have did it all along, maybe you could solve a problem before it gets to be a major issue for them. So definitely need it.
Thank you for saying. We will, Greta, you're not going to get that hero cat thing going. Nelva would be also the veterinarian. We're going to ask her for the role.
Yes, absolutely. So, it's so much fun talking with you, Dr. Ganzert, and it's like I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, how is it flying by that fast? And I still got another banner to throw up there. So I'm going to put it up there now so we don't miss it. Your communications team, they were on it with making sure we ask these things. So why is it so important to continue supporting animal welfare organizations such as yourself?
So I would say in today's times, our communities need to celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and love. And that's why it's more critical now than ever before to have American Humane be strong, to be just be able to deliver on our mission of living the healing power of the human-animal bond. If we don't do this, who will? Who will? And I know that in today's times, this is our true calling. I believe we bring people hope. I know our
Mhm.
animals bring us healing. And as I look at the world today, that's truly the answer. If we had more people embracing the animals in our lives, and not just the companion animals, but all animals
Mhm.
in our the wildlife, what we've done to our earth in terms of limiting where nature is, we have a moral call to action. And I think we need to act with courage today. Support American Humane, support your local humane groups. Bottom line, get involved, join us to make a difference. And you can learn more about American Humane at americanhumane.org. And you can follow us on all the social media platforms at American Humane.
How can people get involved? Is there I know that they can go to the website and everything, but is there a person they can talk to and say, almost like a intake type person, like, you guys have so many things. So does the person get on and say, well, we're in Hollywood, we're in farms, and then the person's like, well, I think I like Hollywood. Like, how does the process go?
I love that question. First of all, for our volunteer opportunities, we have a new animal sanctuary that we're opening up in Florida. So we're definitely looking for volunteers there. We're looking for national volunteers for our rescue program. We have trainings that we offer around the country. Be trained to be an animal rescuer in times of a natural disaster. Those are humane heroes every day when they go out to someone else's community in the times of fire, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, and save animal lives. So we have huge opportunities there for volunteer work. And if you want to learn more, go and click on our website. You can see humane conservation for work in zoos and aquariums. You can see our op-eds in that space. You can see our farm program. You can see all the farm producers who are officially certified so that you can make a humane choice by looking for our seal and ensuring that the farm animal has actually had a humane life. That's really important. Hollywood, you can look at our website and see all the movies. And if the movie isn't listed, don't support them if it has an animal in it. Support those movies where we know for sure those animals were humanely treated. So there's tons of ways. Just, wherever an animal touches our lives, American Humane will be there. So please just visit our website and follow us on our social handles.
Fantastic. Is there anything that we have not touched on that you'd like to bring up?
Oh my goodness, there's so much that we do every day. But one thing I would like to mention is, particularly as our country is coming to terms with additional external threats, right? I think about our nation's service members, those who serve on the front lines of the war on terror and incredible conflicts that we see every single day. We have service members out there. And there's two different types of dogs that I think about. I think about our military working dogs who serve alongside our service members. And we have a
Yes.
bill legislation right now in the halls of Congress to help provide more benefits for our service animals, those military working dogs that actually, if they're an IED explosive detection dog, can actually save so many service members in the line of duty. I also think
Wow.
about what happens to these humans who come home, our service members who come home and become a veteran. They often face those invisible wounds of war, PTS and TBI. So that's why we created in 2015 our first ever service dog program called Pups or Patriots, where we provide a fully trained service dog free of charge to veterans facing those invisible wounds of war. And I have to
Wow.
share with you, I've seen this and I know the individuals, I hear the stories, I've seen the healing happen. And when the healing happens, it's not just the service member, the veteran, it's their entire family. I've had beautiful girls write me letters. Dr. Robin, you brought my dad back. Not just gave me a dog, but you gave me my.
Wow.
Wow.
And when you read that, it
That's
fills your.
powerful.
That's the healing power of the human animal bond. So that's what I wanted to share with you, Greta, Dr. Nelva. It's very important.
That's fantastic. I actually often think about the service dogs. Maybe I'm saying the wrong word. The service working dogs, the ones that are in the military dogs. That's what I should be saying.
Mhm.
I often think about them because I know they're trained to do their duty. They go out and do their duty to the best of their ability. But
Right.
I've read stories, and I think there's been movies where some of them have PTSD, like from
Absolutely.
just bombs and stuff. And I do think about them and like how can we help them get through their trauma. And is there a program like that even out there? And is the American Humane, like, do you, with everything that you do you also provide some kind of standard for the working dogs, like that they should have certain guidelines to be able, like, even if it's not the military, but police dogs, like,
Mhm.
are you guys certifying that these different areas have just standards of procedures of treating these animals, or not treating, maybe that's the wrong word, but I don't know. I know what I want to say, but I don't think I have the right words.
Greta, I think you're touching on a number of points. And one thing that I want to say is you're teasing up our Humane 2030 strategic plan. So I'm going to hold
Whoa.
some certification off for these beautiful working animals. But I will tell you this, American Humane is committed to bringing home every military working dog. I worked to change the National Defense Authorization Act that had a word in it that said, oh, the government may bring the dog back, to they shall bring the dog back from in its retirement back to U.S. soil. Then once it gets to U.S. soil, American Humane funds the flights to get those dogs to their new forever loving homes, the homes of their handlers who they've served on the front lines with. Many of these dogs are adopted by their handlers. They both may be suffering. They both know what it was to serve. And those are the best homes for these military working dogs. Coming into my home is not the best home for an MWD that's retiring. Going into the home of a service member, a veteran who served alongside that dog, is the perfect match for healing to happen on both ends of the leash. And American Humane is also devoted to paying all veterinary bills post-retirement. We pay for the doctors to come in and take care of those dogs in their retirement. So the veterans who have agreed, the former handlers who've agreed to adopt these dogs, can't afford the cost of expensive medical care because these dogs bring home and present unique medical conditions because of their service.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of cancers, a lot of very, very strange medical conditions when these dogs have served overseas in a world impacted by terror. So we pay for these medical bills so these dogs have a humane retirement. Isn't that beautiful?
That's perfect.
That's fantastic. First of all, how could you even think of leaving the dog behind? Because isn't that a soldier? I mean, so that.
But when it's retired, it's equipment. So when the dog is retired, this is equipment, and they could leave it home they could leave it overseas in a kennel that's been, working to retire there. It could be given to a local humane shelter. I find those solutions intolerable, actually. And so for me, that world does not exist. We get a lot of calls from handlers who say, I hear through the grapevine that my dog's going to retire. Can you help me get it home? And we do everything. In fact, spoiler alert, stay tuned to American Humane very soon for another reunion coming up of a military working dog.
Oh my God.
Makes you cry.
It really does. Please make sure when you and your team are ready to do these things and announce these things, please make sure you share with us so that we can shout from the rooftops the great things that you guys are doing.
Thank you. We will.
So we would love to just be an extension.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Bryant, do you have any things you would like to say or ask?
I'm sorry. I'm so tongue-tied. Robin, I'm in awe. I'm so happy and feel so blessed to be on the governing board for American Humane. I want to do more with you guys, definitely. I'm hoping that my role that I play as far as being in the airline industry, I'm hoping that we can work together and share and work on some things together in the future. in reference to that, because there's a lot that a lot of education. And again, that's the basis of what we do with When Pets Fly. And as far as these Facebook Lives is education based. But there's a lot of information that needs to be shared with pet owners or anyone shipping animals in general to ensure they get to their destination safely and ensure animal welfare regulations are complied with and just making sure they're safe. So I'm hoping we can share that in the future and do something together. But again, I'm so excited. I'm so happy you're here, and excited to be a part of American Humane myself.
We're honored to have you involved, Dr. Nelva. You're really a rock star in the space, and I know all the people tuning in today already know you really are a rock star. So we're honored to have you serve on our governing board, and thank you for your many contributions. And I always enjoy our conversation, ladies. I hope we can do this once a year, a little reunion.
Definitely.
So much fun.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And you know, Dr. Bryant, you have a very unique perspective with all of your experiences. You are a retired veteran. You are a veterinarian, and you are with the airline industry. So you've got a gem in Dr. Bryant.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
We're very blessed. Very blessed. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, this has been fantastic. I hate to even turn the camera off and end the live, but it's just been a remarkable Facebook Live session with you, Dr. Ganzert. I'm so happy you are here. And yes, we have to make sure we do this on an annual basis so that you can share all the great work that the American Humane is doing. Is there any last words you would like to share with everyone?
Well, again, I hope everyone tuning in today joins the compassion movement. We need everyone involved in our mission at American Humane and Global Humane. We need everyone to come together and be the voice of animals and help make a difference, not only in our local communities and our local backyards, but indeed around the world. We set the standards. We need to go out there and make the world a much better place for our animal friends.
Absolutely. And is it okay if we share the save the date on our social media now with everyone?
Absolutely.
For the Hero Dogs Awards?
Absolutely. We'd love to have everyone come. It's fun to see the show in person. It really is.
It is.
I'm sure it is. And Dr. Bryant, do you have any last words for everyone?
No last words. Thank you, Robin, for being here. I love it. This is just an honor for you to be here and share. And yes, we got to continue this yearly. Just get the information out. So I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank everyone for being here. This has been a fantastic episode, and we're hoping that you all enjoyed as well. Until next time, everyone take care and be safe with your animals.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Let's see. Push the end button now. Dr. Ganzert, my computer likes to take a half day on Friday, so